My name is Bailey, and I'm going to be working with you for the next couple of weeks. How are you doing today?
Pretty good, I guess. A little
Pretty good.
stressed.
Stressed? Okay. We'll get into that a little bit more. But first, I want to make sure that you signed your informed consent.
I did.
All right. Did you take a look over the confidentiality part of it?
I did.
All right. Well, I just want to let you know that there are a couple ways that could be broken, and that's self-harm, harming others, or the legal subpoena. So, is that okay? All right. Well, tell me a little bit about why you're stressed today.
Well, we're in the middle of a move, as if it's not enough to be moving in the middle of a pandemic.
Right.
But I have a special needs son, and normally at the end of the year they have an IEP, and well, they have it at the beginning of the year and then at the end of the year. This year, because of the COVID-19, we're not able to do the meeting for his IEP, which usually is all of his teachers that he works with throughout the year and with the parent. And we go over the goals and see if he's met them or not. So, it's bad enough being moving, but also not being able to go over this IEP with him. And then also, trying to do work with him at home because, they didn't get to finish out the school year and the teachers are wanting to try to bring up their grades. So they're wanting the parents to work with them, and I'm not really good at helping him through some of his homework because he is special needs, and it's really tough trying to get him to where he needs to be. Like I said, I don't know with the move if he's going to be. I know where he's at now. They know all him and his goals, and I guess I'm just worried about his transition.
I can see that you're really stressed out about this. The pandemic is not helpful at all. It's stressing everyone out, and it is really getting to people. But could you tell me a little bit about your son? A little bit more about him?
Yeah, he's his name is Hayden,
Okay.
and he's 9.
Right.
And he's actually my nephew. I got custody of him when he was small, 3 years old actually. He came from a broken home. His both parents used drugs and whatnot. So I've been his caregiver, his guardian since he's been 3. And he likes things the same. He likes routine. He doesn't like change. So here I am, moved him to a new school, and we didn't get to finish out the school year, so he didn't really get to say his goodbyes when I promised him he would. He wanted to say his goodbyes to his friends, and we probably could call, but we didn't get the phone numbers. So, I'm trying to figure out how to, smooth that over with that, and, just, I guess, trying to figure out what I need to do, because, like I said, I just don't know how to get him prepared for the move to the different school. I mean, he's excited about the move to a new house and getting a new room and stuff like that, but just get him ready for school, I guess I'm just not prepared because he is very OCD about how things are done.
Right. Okay. Well, first of all, I want to say that I think it's amazing what you're doing with him. I think that's really great. You're amazing for doing what you do.
Thank you.
Because not a lot of people would step up, and I think that's awesome already. But with Hayden, you said he's 9. Could you tell me a little bit about his special needs, like what exactly it is?
Well, they
You said something about OCD.
Yeah, they kind of classified him as mild spectrum autism.
Okay.
So basically, most of his problems is communication. He didn't get a lot of, I guess, attention when he was first born due to his parents being on drugs and whatnot. So his communication is very behind. Because when I got him, he wasn't going to the bathroom at 3. He wasn't talking sentences, barely saying words. So, I mean, he's come a long way, but, I mean, he's still got a long way to go. When I first got him, he was not social with others. He's still kind of socially awkward. So it's hard for him to make friends, which is another reason why I'm concerned because, he feels like the people that he just made friends with is, obviously they're important to him just like it is to anybody, but, it's trying to get him acclimated is going to be hard, and, it makes me worry. Right. So I love him.
No, absolutely. Of course. Well, okay. So mild spectral autism. So you said his his biggest, I guess, battle would be communication within his new school, and then you're worried also about how he's going to acclimate there, not even just communication-wise, but education-wise. Have you taken any steps so far about doing that or going about
I have
learning better through
not.
school?
Like I said, normally my plan was before the COVID-19. I keep mentioning that,
Right.
but everything's kind of thrown off because of that. I would have discussed all these plans in the IEP.
Right.
I have spoke with the special needs teacher briefly, because she did call me to tell me that they weren't going to do the IEP this year. And, of course, I did express my concern about that, but like I said, it was just a brief, basically it was like an email back and forth, about that. So I really didn't get all the answers I needed from that.
But you said he's excited earlier, right? You said he's excited about
Yeah.
the move.
He is excited about getting his own bedroom and his new big house, and being able to. We're moving to quite a bit of land, so he's going to get to play freely outside. Because right now we currently live in a smaller house in a subdivision where it's small.
And has he said anything about his new school? Is he excited about that? Has he expressed any feelings about that? Have you asked him?
He says before I had tried to prepare him about this before we moved, because at first, so I didn't really know when we were going to move because we had to sell this house first. So I did mention him, moving, and that I was going to let him finish out the school year where he was at, even if I had to drive him. He did get worried, and he one day the teachers called me and saying that is Hayden moving, and I really wasn't going to say anything about the move just yet, but I was just trying to prepare him because he does better when you talk to him about it.
Right.
And they said he was upset at school that day, saying that he needed to get phone numbers from his friends. Yeah. He was really upset about it. So, and of course, I talked to him when he got home and said he's going to have time to do that. And now with the COVID-19, we didn't prepare for that. So, that's going to be a little bit of an issue.
Right. Have you talked to him at all about that yet either?
No, I'm going to try to find out. I know one of his little friends go to daycare, and he will be going to that daycare during the summer. I'm not going to swap daycare, so we can get the one friend. I don't know about the other few, if we can get the phone numbers or not, because,
confidentiality
yeah.
with the schools and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you're taking the steps, so that's fine. We'll work on that a little bit later. I think you've done a really good job so far. But I do want to try something. It's a little weird, and unusual, and it takes a little bit of imagination. But say you went home after the session tonight and you went to sleep, and while you were sleeping, a miracle happens. But you're asleep, so you don't really know that it's happening. And then you wake up the next day. How would you discover that this has happened? So all your problems have went away with this miracle. How would you discover that this happened?
How would I discover?
Yeah.
Or how?
How would you know? How would you know that all your problems have been solved through this?
I guess I would know who his teachers are, and I would know that his IEP had been moved, and that Hayden is excited and ready to go to school the next coming up school year.
All right.
And that we actually have school.
Right.
I don't even know.
Yes,
I don't need to be a
COVID is
teacher.
gone.
That would be the big miracle.
Right. Can you remember a time when things were kind of like this, where you weren't so worried about all of these things?
Yeah, I guess it was all before we decided to move. Everything was fine, and I knew that everything. I probably would have been a little bit worried with the COVID-19, and we didn't finish the year, and I didn't get to know his IEP and stuff like that. But I know that the teachers were working on it, and that he would have been fine coming the next year. I guess it's just all the unknown.
Right. That makes sense. Okay, well, I think that we could start setting some small goals. We should set one today for the next session. I understand that so you're really worried about Hayden and him getting acclimated to his school and to just the move in general and all of that. So I think that we should set our goal based on that. I think that maybe just getting into contact with the current special needs teacher and talking to them about getting contacts and information about your new school, the new special needs teacher and all that. I think that will be our first step prior to the next session that you do. So that'll be a little bit of a homework for you to do for the next session. That'll be our first step, I think, towards getting you comfortable with Hayden's new transition to his new school. Perfect. All right.
Do that.
And so on that note, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you think, or how do you feel about this problem after the session that we've done today?
I would say probably about maybe a 5.5, because I feel like, there's still a lot of unknown.
Right.
So I would say about 5.5. I mean, we do, you gave me a good assignment to speak with the special needs teacher and try to get in touch with the other school. And
right.
I guess my biggest fear is that IEP not moving, and just kind of find out, how that's going to get moved.
Right, absolutely. So maybe after the session you do this homework, maybe next session we'll talk a little bit more about that IEP and try to see if we can get that figured out for you next time.
Okay.
All right, perfect. We'll see you next week.
All right.